Hi, I'm Sophia and I draw animals, and today we are doing a sketchbook tour. Bet you didn't see that one coming, even though I mentioned it 2 weeks ago. As you can see, this one is not yet done. I started it in February of this year. We're maybe about a little over a third of the way there right now. This one I actually finished in an entire year, which was the first time I had done that in probably 7 years. And I know that sounds like a lot. It is a lot. That is a long time, especially for someone who drew consistently from like 3 years old, not exaggerating, from like 3 years old up until 8th grade. So 13, almost 14. My sketchbooks went everywhere with me. I would run through sketchbooks like crazy. Those TJ Maxx sketchbooks, those like marked down, like shitty spiral, way too glossy paper sketchbooks were what held me down for many a year. Fast forward half a decade later, I finished my first sketchbook. It is just like an XL brand. You can see under there, just spiral bound sketchbook. The paper I think was 110 pounds, 20 pounds. It's pretty thick paper. It really held ink well. It is a mixed media sketchbook, I'm pretty sure, which I tried finding in a different brand. Not a good idea if you have not gone through sketchbooks a lot like I have in a very long time, when things have very much changed. But I definitely liked this paper more. I might try and find an XL brand that is not spiral bound. I really want a no perforation, no spiral bound sketchbook for my next one. But this is what we have right now, and we're gonna finish it up. Oh Jesus, I just dropped it. Okay, give me a second. Oh, how's my claw clip looking? Is it a sleigh? So yeah, I'm gonna quickly show you all my stickers. A lot of them, if not all of them, are from small artists on Etsy. If I had all the names, I'd write them down for you. But luckily, Google image search does exist, so please use that to your advantage. Okay, I'm gonna point out the ones that I designed because I just can't help but be a showboat. I created this sticker, and this sticker is one of my freebies that I give away with orders. And I created this sticker. This is part of a shark sticker sheet I made. I made this one, I made this one, and oh, I made that one as well. Some of these are from sticker flake sheets, some are from like random like Etsy freebies. This one was very fun to sticker. I had such good stickers. I clearly went with a more blue and purple theme with this one. I wanted to go more blue-green with this one. Maybe for my next one, I think I'm gonna do a red and orange theme. Big fan of this sticker. It's a what art we? Is this Willowa? Yes, Willowa. Everything about me is Willowa. Where's my freaking nose ring? Love my little bicycle girl. I have Peridot from Steven Universe behind plants. I kind of don't like things with words, but honestly, it was kind of cute. We got it from Risa Plants, which is a nursery in Napa. Weedy sea dragons or leafy sea dragons. What do I have on my arm? A motherfucking weedy sea dragon. Yes, okay, yes. Big fan of that one. This was from like, I think my birth control at the time gave me a freebie sticker. Shoebill Stork. Yeah. And then of course a Baja Blast sticker. So yeah, we're gonna get into the sketchbook tour. I'm gonna try not to absolutely plow through it. I love watching people do that and explain their process and their thought process. So I hope you enjoy mine. It might be a little bit yappy, chatty, a little bit sporadic, if you will. You know that's how we roll. Grab your water, grab a snack, and we are just gonna hop into this. It's also nighttime, so sorry if the lighting's a little bit more harsh today because I will have my ring light on. Cross our fingers, hope for the best, and I will do my absolute best to show you the textures and the drawings in all their goodness and glory. So, off we go. We're turning around. My cat is back here. I did not realize he's back. Oh, sir. Okay, so this sketchbook I had since about March of 2023 to March or beginning of April 2024, so a year basically. It was my goal to finish a sketchbook in a year, and I did it. So I'm very proud of myself. I'm gonna warn you, this first page is absolutely horrendous. It is not a cutie curated sketchbook whatsoever. This was an actual sketchbook. This shit looks crazy. Not gonna be aesthetically pleasing. Ta-da! That is page 1. It is a concept sketch page for when I was doing my art club, which I plan to revamp now that I am more secure in what exactly I'm doing with my art and more confident in what I'm doing with my art. The first month was the giant anteater, and I fucking love that animal. Did not realize how much I love anteaters, but I went and looked at a bunch of different species and stared at them like stared at them, laser stared at them, and tried to draw them from memory. So what this all is, which is why they look so funky. You can see I drew giant anteaters. The manduas are these Central or South American? I'm pretty sure Central American arboreal anteaters. They're a lot smaller. And then there are silky anteaters, which are also arboreal, but really, really fugly. So I love those ones. But I also played around with the idea of doing wallpapers. I did some pen sketches. I actually did 3 different materials here. You can see I used a graphite pencil, just like a regular ass mechanical pencil, a gel pen, and then a brown color pencil, which I'm pretty sure was a Crayola color pencil. But I went at it, I came back other times and started drawing more. I really, really like this guy. But yeah, I want to come back to this, and once again, told you they look freaky. I told you this was not aesthetically pleasing, and that a lot of these drawings I purposefully tried to do from memory, because referencing is not a bad part of art. It's very natural to need to look at something or want to look at something, and for me, because they're animals, it is not something there's a lot of wiggle room for, because I do like to get my proportions as realistic as possible, even if the stylization is not realistic. So pause and don't look at her. These were some of the things I was doing for merch drop for Valentine's. I never got to it. I wanted some cute spoonbills, just notes and ideas. These are tarsiers or tarsiers. They're I think the only primate that is in the Philippines. My girlfriend, who is Filipino, really fucking loves them because they are quote funky looking. This is actually the most accurate drawing, which is why I started this one. These were memory drawings, which is why they were terrifying. These I prepped to include for the like Patreon art club subscribers, and I wound up kind of scrapping it. I just did little doodles without the quotes. I really love this. Is a coloring book concept page. I did actually make this into a coloring page. I want to re-release it as a digital download, and I do want to come back and make these into them because I really like the cuteness of this one, but this one was just too darn cute that I might have to go back and make it an actual print because it is, I really do like it. These are just some sad pigeon sketches. This is when I worked at a certain coffee chain. I think you know which one. Actually, I think I forgot my phone and I went to go pick up my girlfriend from her station, and I just sat there and I drew. It was very fun. I find that I love to put words into my sketchbooks. I love to kind of comment on them, give captions. When I know it's just me looking through them usually, so it's kind of funny to see what I am thinking at the time. A lot of horizontal things right now. This is a superb bird of paradise. These are some sketches. I really like this one. Want to come back to her and do a sticker sheet of them because they're so funny. These are the ones that dance around and the yellow throat and the flashy blue feathers, and they go. So obviously crowd favorite. It's actually produced my first good TikTok. Good is relative, but it was the first time I had gotten an influx of followers for a drawing post. Do a little flip. This was not in the sketchbook, but I have no idea how to store it, and I have to make it into an actual bookmark or a print or something. But I randomly drew on this bookmark one night. This, I think, is where the uptick in traditional art came from. I'm gonna pinpoint it to this point because it had taken me several months out of this whole year to draw these first 2 pages. Was not really doing anything there. The second this came, something just clicked. I have never been the same, and it's a good thing. I really do need to, I do give a lot of credit to this bookmark. This is a funny page of sharks and me practicing my signature and whatever the hell this is. I don't really know what happened there, but it's smudged. It's kind of nasty looking. I don't usually draw things like this, but I'd gotten these rainbow pencils and was obsessed with them, but I was also kind of really having a rough time, so you can see I like scribbled words. Flip it, let's go, cutie owls, yay. Okay, really enjoyed making it. I showed it to like everyone I could because I really wish I might come back and redraw it to just fix some areas here, but I showed everyone that I knew this drawing because I was so happy with it. You'll see a couple ugly things with the rainbow pencil, like this one. I want to make this a sticker, but the drawing has to be better because I don't know what the hell this is, but it's absolutely terrifying. This was a ill attempt at drawing some sort of bee eater. This is also another bird of Palestine. It's the glossy ibis. I personally love water birds, as I've talked about before on my channel. Now I have my roadrunner page. This one is actually this way. I love roadrunners. I forget that I love them, but they're so cute. Like this shape I really enjoyed. I like how the feet look. It almost looks kind of Disney, which I really appreciated. I love this one too. I want to come back and draw them more realistically. You'll see I tried doing that on the next page, but it kind of just wasn't the time for it. I don't know how I did it upside down, but I managed to do that upside down. This is in like my more half cartoon style, where the eyes are kind of goofy, but the proportions are more realistic. Now onto this doodle page. I drew a little crow, a button, once again captioning my drawings. This was, I think, because my cat was loafing on the couch and he was literally the size of like a baked ham or something. He was massive. Oh god. Anyway, this is a cactus and like little zzz and spikies. And then this was based off of that one meme of the raccoon washing the cotton candy and then going, oh my god, where'd it go? I'm gonna make this very clear. I believe birds are real. It's just funny to me and ironic to me to do the birds work for the bourgeoisie and the birds aren't real and the robo pigeons and all that. That will forever be funny to me. I actually did sign up for not sign up for Birds Aren't Real, but buy merch from a Birds Aren't Real organization. I don't know if it was serious or satire, and I still, to this day, cannot figure out if it is satire or not, because they sent me a thing saying join the movement, and I was like, oh. You see, I bought this shirt because it was cool and ironic considering how much I do love bird watching. But anyway, I'm a big fan of this guy, big fan of this guy, and a big fan of this guy. Pigeons are one of the only things I can draw from memory and have them look semi-realistic, just because they're kind of like ingrained in the brain. This is a still life of my AirPods in the natural light of my living room. These are doodles of myself. I was very, very sick. I had like gotten the worst cold, and I have asthma, so like when I get stuck with a cold, I get absolutely taken out. Like I can't breathe, I can't sleep because I think I was absolutely just delusional during this. I can see there's a Baja Blast drawing. I am sick. Lots of doodles of myself. This does not look like me, but these ones definitely are getting closer. My hair was a lot curlier because I hadn't dyed it and bleached it a whole shit ton. So now it's not as curly, but my curls were really coming in nicely that year. I tried to draw a horse from memory. It actually wasn't that bad, but I didn't finish it clearly, so it is bad. Then I took a crappy marker. I think it was just like a kid's Crayola marker or something, and I blocked out some shapes for some black cats because I wanted to do them for October and do a sticker sheet of some sorts. I never wound up doing it, but this year is the year where I do things that I want to do with my art, so you will be seeing that from me. And then I got really into drawing voids and black cats because they're so cute. As a reference, these were little scratch drawings. I really, really enjoyed making those. That was not referenced. I think this whole page wasn't referenced, but I also like this. I don't know why I wrote that. I don't know. My sketchbooks are sketchbooks and notebooks at the same time, so any ideas I have, they just go down. Oh my god. I fucking forgot about this page. Also got obsessed with drawing desert rain frogs. I already have a sticker of them. They're little angry, grumpy frogs. They beep and they have little butt cheeks. I know that sounds crazy, but they do. I can also draw them relatively from memory, clearly, which is why they look extra funky, but that is what they look like. That is what they look like. These ones are kind of terrifying. I also did a low poly pelican like these. Don't look at her. But once again, this sketchbook is a lot of drawing from memory and a lot of crazy sketches. Once again, drawing from memory, looking at dinos and dragons. I was telling my girlfriend about how I used to just draw made up imaginary dragons a lot on my papers, in my sketchbooks, and it looked fucking dope. And I kind of want to do that again because it's really, really fun. Now we get into some more sophisticated pieces. These are lammergeiers or bearded vultures. I love doing monochrome sketches. These are actually in pen, so no pencil was used, no nothing, which I'm very proud of. I really do love this bird. I've actually drawn it multiple times before this. But I really am just obsessed with how these two sketches in particular came out. I definitely want to do some more monochrome pen sketches because I had a lot of fun doing it this time, and I kind of forgot that that's where I started with all this traditional art. Another doodle page for you. Don't know why I drew the dinosaur, but this is my dog. That's Squishmallow. We had a little checker tote bag. I was drinking an Arizona iced tea. This is Lego me. I saw Rolo. These were all things that I could see within like maybe 20 feet. Moving on, this is the margay, pretty sure that's how you say it, or the tree ocelot. In particular, this sketch looked the most accurate to the references, and I still favor this one over all three of them. But I only used reds, so this one I actually wound up using more than one material for them. I used a black gel pen and then a red ballpoint pen, if I'm correct. Some more cats and rainbow pencil. Really fucking enjoyed these rainbow pencils. I still have some more, luckily. I think I'm gonna dip back into them once I find a sketchbook that holds the pencil sketches a little bit better. Now to the moon jellies. I really like this drawing. To this day, still love this drawing. Still think about this drawing a lot. I referenced the three or four main largest jellyfish. Actually, I think this one isn't referenced. The rest I went in from memory and did my best to make them as accurate as possible, and I added some sparkles afterwards, but otherwise these ones are all drawn in just the rainbow pencil, no other material. Okay, I like these pages a lot. This is actually what inspired my profile picture. This is literally the Hi, I'm Sophia logo, and this is my cat Toby. He doesn't exactly look like this, but like as a cartoonized version of him, it's pretty darn cute. I did use sticky notes as a tool for the first time, which was very fun. I glued these down just because they were curling a little bit, and I hate that. I have the anglerfish. Really freaking like this drawing. I have to find a way to use these for Halloween time because they're just so cool. I drew them initially in this like dark brown gel pen thing. I think it's a Pilot gel pen. But I love the color it comes out. It's a very rich color, and I went over with like the Sharpie note highlighter things and just added some color for fun. Another from memory sketch page. I told you that was a big theme in the sketchbook. I wanted to try and absorb information, absorb and analyze shapes and things, and then get them onto the page. So for the hairs, I did these three from memory. I looked at a reference afterwards and did these three drawings right here. So the eye, this hair, and that hair. Then I did all of these from memory, from reference as well. This, I don't know what's going on here. These are all from my brain, and I just bug. Moving on, more bugs. Next is more doodles of me. I've had bangs on and off for years now, and a bob for years now. Mostly a lob is the lengthiest I'll go. I think I want to try and actually grow it out, but I wanted to get more comfortable with drawing myself. More drawings of me and girl, she is so kitty. I actually want to redo this and like make it bigger and frame it because it's really cute. Moving on is my drawing page of my cat Toby. He is very orange and very large. He is a puddle of a cat. I did a lot of traditional layering with alcohol markers, some very fine point felt pens. I don't think I used any colored pencil here actually. I think this is a marker drawing. Really like this piece. This is also, once again, that butterfly drawing was a turning point for how much texture and color variation I wanted in my drawings. Here's some more barn owls from memory. Some of these were better than others. This one was definitely better. That one was definitely better. I liked the talons because I know how to draw most generalized bird talons, so it kind of came out better. This is definitely the height of Mudang and the baby seal and the baby panda and Pesto and the baby anteater that was born. This page is really funny to me actually. It is very fun to look at. On the next page, I am totally locked in and back again. It is the blue-tongued skink, which is one of my favorite reptiles. For this, I used 2 materials for each shade of drawing. I used like the Sharpie note pens or whatever, and this dark blue gel pen to sketch it in. This one had a light blue ballpoint pen and then a lighter blue highlighter that I just found in my mess of supplies. Very, 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 very fond of this page. I also showed this page to anyone who would listen because I was very proud of it, and as I should be, it looks great. Okay, maybe I didn't fill every back of this page. I thought I did. I'm making a point to do it in this sketchbook, so please don't call me a liar. Me and my girlfriend are very big fans of the Hannibal show, and deer stags are a very big part of it. So I drew a little stag head. This one came out. It was referenced. This one was not severely referenced. The pose was, but the deer head was not, and you can tell because it kind of looks not right. This page, if the proportions were not all off for this, it would look amazing. Can't win them all, can we? This is another Hannibal inspired sketch. We were talking about possible inspired tattoos and things like that, and I was like, oh cool, fucking mushrooms and like a dripping kind of wavy stag's head could be really cool. And there's like a bird skull stuck on this antler. There's a dripping pomegranate, some mushrooms, and like ivy. This is actually the first paint pen drawing I did. This one was initially an alcohol marker and ballpoint pens. You can see there's a lot of texture. Really, really like this drawing. And I went on top of this drawing with green and stuff like that and just drew some more caterpillars. It's a much more limited color palette, so I got to have a bit more fun with it. And I also drew one coming out of a chrysalis. And once again, this is when I was starting to get more traction with things. Obviously, I'm still a very small account on Instagram and everything like that, but these traditional drawings were making me feel more like myself, and in turn, people were interacting more because I think they could see there was more soul in these drawings than others had had. I think it was almost Halloween time by this, like it was fallish, and so we had watched Over the Garden Wall, which is what this one is kind of reminding me of. I want to do a full page of pumpkin heads. Did not get around to it. It's okay. You win some, you lose some, you know? Oh, this page. I really, really love this page. This is my Cal Academy sketch page. It's another one that really took off my TikTok that I was very, very proud of. I drew Claude and a rattlesnake that I actually saw yawn twice. It was very, very cool. These are the four-eyed fish that have those like a split eyeball so they can see above the water. California quail. This is some urchins in the reef section of the aquarium. This I'm pretty sure is just a regular ass sardine, and a spotted garden eel. And they had a section where you could go down and sit, and they had a pinned bug. It was a pinned monarch butterfly, and you could sit, and they encouraged you to draw. They had little pencils out and some paper, and I was like, holy shit, guess what I have? A sketchbook and pencil. And so I sat and drew a bunch of these guys. And I went back in and added some stars. I actually did cry a little bit when I got there because I was just so genuinely excited to be around that many animals. And because it's like an aquarium and a zoo all in one, I of course had the best time of my life. It was actually for a possible gift for my sister. Don't look at this, Alex. I promise I'll get something done eventually. I wanted to draw them as the Peter Rabbit rabbits. Oh look, move-in weekend. Big sketch page of Kona sketches. This is my dog. I tend to draw him in this style. My cat tends to be drawn in a more realistic style just because he is, well, he's staring at me right now actually. Outside in our backyard, and he was sitting by me, being so good. We were just bird watching. These ones are relatively better sketches, but I'm a big fan of this one, and the poop one. Alright, so we've been watching a lot of Bob's Burgers. This was a very, very random page. I don't know why the fried eggs came into view and or the weird snakes, but they did. I go through spells of not craving coffee, but because I'm, well, caffeine addicted, I have massive migraines, and I just know that I won't finish the coffee. I'm gonna waste it, so there's no need to make it. Next is a couple chaotic pages. So you see that there's some other designs that I actually wound up liking a bit more. This one was better. I wanted kind of an aggressive affection vibe, saying like, not caring is not cool, because they're pigeons, and I'm so hilarious and so original. We are here. I have no idea if it's gonna shine in the light because there's accidental use of a silver marker, but we will ignore that for now. Once again, I had just gotten paint markers, so I was going crazy with color and crazy with texture, and I really like how these came out. I definitely want to take that and maybe make it into a sticker because it is very cute. I have to skip that page because it did have my old work address on it, kind of, because I was making a sign for that work. I was testing out doing warm-ups for the first time. I actually got very bored. I'm terrible about my attention span, my ability to just sit there and do something repetitive that's not fun, which was just circles and stuff. I was playing with a like $2 ballpoint pen. Ooh, moving on. We have some Animal Crossing inspired drawings. This is a boring dung beetle, a drone beetle, and then a citrus beetle. I hadn't played in forever. And just seeing all the cute, colorful bugs was very inspiring. And doodled a bunch of King Charles Cavaliers. This one I think came out the best, and this one came out the best. Oh my gosh, I forgot about this page. This freaking page has done wonders for my mental health, for my artistic image of myself, for everything. The common loon, that classic bird that you all know and love and don't know the common loon. I looked at pictures on Pinterest and Google, and then I took my brush pen and just started blocking out shapes. No sketches, just shapes. This was another turning point for streamlining my artistic process, especially with paint pens. I think after this, just my ability to analyze a picture and pick it apart into shapes was really starting to develop. Doodle page of just a bunch of like woodland creatures, kind of. I am personally a biggest fan of the bat, the fish, and the snake. Definitely want to tap into the style more. It's a very doodly style, but I also did no sketch. It was very quick, trying to do confident lines, less hatching or anything like that. Yeah, I really do like how this one turned out. These were no sketch, no reference drawings, so they're unbelievably disproportionate. I would definitely go about it a different way if I drew these right now. However, I drew this a long time ago, not right now, so there's no fixing that. This is where I was starting to get really tired of the sketchbook. I was just over it. I wanted it to be done, I wanted it to be filled, and I wanted to buy something new and just have novelty again. So I drew a bunch of marker doodles of different fruits just to fill the page for no reason. I hate that I outlined them. This is just a simple flower drawing. Honestly, I think it's based off tulips. You can tell I was kind of losing steam. Now we get into some cool drawings. There's a specific style of Spanish pottery called like talavera, and it's very blue and white with a lot of very fine glazing on the ceramics. It's for a coffee themed thing. So this is a coffee plant and the actual pot with the design on it. That was a more intense sketch version of it, but I had some more concept sketches. And you can see there's more designs here that I'm kind of playing with. Some that I actually have finalized, so don't you, that's kind of a little spoiler, but you know the drill, Now this was actually for another commission. It was actually a birthday commission of their cat. I wanted to sketch her, make sure that I actually knew what her proportions kind of looked like. It was a digital drawing though, so there is no finished product. Okay, yeah, that is actually the end of the sketchbook. There is an extra page, but I tend to write down addresses on that page, so it's easier for me to send out all my orders at a time. So that is why I cannot show that, because that is personal information. This is the new sketchbook I started this February of 2025. My first official drawing in here is some Venus flytraps, some pitcher plants, a mosquito that is not accurate, and a fly that is more accurate. And I was testing out my black paint marker. I wish it was a little bit more pigmented, but it did come out kind of how I wanted, so that's good. These were some concept sketches for more cats and hats. You saw that in my last sketchbook I had some cats and hats. Liked these ladybug drawings. I'm a big fan personally of this one, and this one looks better, but I like the concept of this drawing. These ones are all Pinterest referenced. I had to fill a page, and I did. I kind of wish it'd been in color, but it's okay. Another ladybug just to fill a page, no big deal. I did a bunch of random dog drawings, so these were not referenced at all. I did include one that looked like my dog and one that looked like my sister's dog. He's like a little weenie dog mix. Kind of made it into like a little pattern situation, and I honestly think it could be cute. It's like a tissue paper or something. Now here are more drawings of my dog, more realistic style than I usually do him in. This is more accurate to what I draw him like. It honestly fits his personality a lot more. We're backing in with the rainbow pencil. I just didn't feel like hauling out all of my supplies that day. These are not referenced, they're just from my mind's eye. But I did scan them properly, so I want to make them into a print. Cats and hats, more cats and bandanas. These are not referenced, which is why the proportions are all off. This drawing, I really took my time on this like pothos drawing that I had. And then I was like, oh my god, we were talking about plants, and I was like, oh my god, those freaking alocasias. I had one that did not grow for like 2 years straight, and I was like, I just gave up. I let her die. So it made me think of that one TikTok audio that was like, the will grow under any condition. I'm allergic to tap water. So, oh my god, this paper's dripping. We are here. This is the Rosy Maple Moth. Have like an underlayer of alcohol marker, just Prismacolor marker in yellow, even though this was already yellow. And then I used color pencils for the rest of the drawing. Really love how this came out. The wings are a little bit rounder in real life, if I was ever to redraw this. Here are more drawings of my dog Kona. Once again, he fits much better in this style. He's very silly. Moving on. We have a jaguar drawing. I wanted to cover the backs of these pages, so I went back in with more toned paper. The legs are a little bit too short. If I could extend them, I really would, but I can't, so don't look at them too long. But I do really like what I did to get the shadows in kind of purpley pink and the spots all marked out without having to individually go in and draw every single spot perfectly. These are drawings of my cat, Toby. You can tell he's drawn in a much more colorful and intense style, and I was messing around with hatching as backgrounds, like alternating hatching as a background. I absolutely love this drawing. I'm actually saying I love my drawings a lot more than I thought I was going to. Usually I'm a lot more critical of what I'm making, but this sketchbook has just been like a slam dunk so far. They're not in chronological order because of these back pages, but I drew a red-eyed tree frog, which is my favorite amphibian. Has been for like ever. I used a lot of colors on this one. I meant to draw a second one here, I completely forgot. We'll probably go back and finish that. These are the ones that I lost footage of, these back page drawings, like the jaguar and the rosy maple. This is my blue heron drawing that was my first YouTube video, was drawing this bird. It was like 12 minutes long, but it was 2 hours of footage, and I was so stressed about editing and posting. I don't know what took over my brain, but everything about it I like. Something is clicking in my art, and I'm so happy to see it. Oh my god, I forgot about her. This drawing took like way too long. I was kind of annoyed by the end of it. It was just, nothing was working out that week, so a little bit of a sore spot, if you will. I drew this in early March, but this is the great egret, which I see a lot of as I live near a marsh. Once again, I love waterfowl. I love water birds, shorebirds, coast birds, love them all. But egrets I get to see on a daily basis. They like to cross over from the roosting sites to their feeding sites. There is so much marker, so much paint pen, so much color pencil, so much love and sweat and tears came into this. I really wish I had managed to break down and produce the shadow better on this part of the drawing. I love that it almost looks like a rainbow filter is on the birds. This was another YouTube video I filmed. It was unripe blueberries. It definitely was more whimsical. It was not me trying to reference the drawing as much as possible. This is my fairy penguin sketch. These are my favorite penguins. They're not my favorite bird because it's hard to choose a favorite bird, but they are my favorite of the category of penguins specifically. They're so tiny, so very blue. You know, you think they're named blue penguins, but they're actually blue. It's insane. And I was like, fuck it. I want to add fairy wings. And so I sketched these from memory and then added fairy wings because why not? I've mentioned this before, but I want to do a Respect the Locals sticker sheet or sticker pack. So I have ideas of doing one with a seagull or a pigeon or a crow that says Respect the Locals, or ones that has actual native species. This was a shoebill stork from memory because I love me a shoebill stork. I originally was kind of feeling like burnt out and spent and tired, and so I just took a paint marker and did a little border and some stars, and I was like, color them in, I guess. And then after that, I got a little inspired and just drew the storks. I do definitely want to come back and draw this animal with a reference so I can get them as accurate as possible because I do really like them. Hey, this is the first real chaotic page in this book. Most of them have been very tame, unlike the last sketchbook, but this one, you could tell I was kind of going through a block, so I just let myself have fun. Let it be crazy, let it be wild, let it be terrible. I don't care. And it did help because the next drawing was this and this. And it's fucking amazing. Like, glad I let myself play, because otherwise I don't think I would have had the mental energy to produce something like this. And I'm really freaking proud of this drawing. These are doodles, they're cute, they're whatever, it was just a warm-up. But this drawing, I'm genuinely so proud of, and I would not have been able to do that had I not given myself this space to breathe. I have been filming a lot for YouTube, so I didn't want to get caught up in the fact that I'm creating for YouTube. I'm creating and I'm happening to be a YouTuber at the same time. You know, this was a 10-minute sketch kind of thing. The coloring also took 10 minutes. I gave myself 20 minutes total for this entire drawing. I kind of wish I didn't color it. I liked it better as a sketch. So I drew 2 more to make it up to myself. You can see there's a bit of a mess going on here. Not the biggest fan. This is a secretary bird, by the way. I love that bird. It's one of my favorite raptors. Now this is just another pothos vine that I was drawing. This is from memory, no reference. Just because I have enough plants that they're well ingrained in my brain. I've kind of been using it as a calming coloring page just because it takes a lot of very soft, colorful blending. And I just use it when I need a little bit of a warm-up and when I need to just kind of like zone in, you know? And this is what we drew earlier this week for YouTube. This was one of my animal suggestions I got from YouTube comments. It was a giant squid. There was an insane amount of colorful blending that went on here. Multiple background changes somehow. I don't know how I managed to get it to look like one thing, but something once again clicked. I don't know. I'm really, really proud of how the shading looks. It looks really well blended to me. That might not be true to someone with a better eye, but to my eye, this is really the peak of my work right now, and I'm just really excited to share it with you guys, but also get to look at it in my own eyes, you know? I don't know what I'm saying. I'm actually losing my mind right now. It did absolutely kill my wrist. I had to cold compress and brace and stretch and icy hot my arm to sleep. So that caused a lot of wrist problems. I definitely have to take better care of myself there. And I was gonna say that's where we ended, but I just drew this like before filming. It is a sketch of a lammergeier. You saw those earlier in that other sketchbook. They live entirely off bone marrow, so they go and fly really high and crack bones. They drop bones on rocks to crack them, and then they eat them. Their stomach is so acidic that it can dissolve the bone and absorb the marrow. So very, very cool animals. Now we are officially done with our so far sketchbook tour and my last year's sketchbook tour. I'm so glad you could join, and we are gonna flip back around and do our little outro. Hi, it's me again. Back so soon. It's been like an hour. That was a straight hour of me yapping at you. I hope you enjoyed as much as I did. My vocal cords are now fried. We will live. It is surprisingly not the most yapping I've ever done in my life. These are the sketchbooks. These are the bibis. This was the first bibi. This is the second bibi. I think I might actually get to finishing more than one sketchbook, if not at least starting and finishing and starting a next sketchbook within a year, which is an insane milestone for me. It was very fun to get to see what progress I made in my sketching, in my animal choice, and even how I was processing color as a medium and just as a point of focus in my drawings. And it's insane how much progress I've made. I'm very, very proud of myself, and I hope you're proud of yourself too for whatever progress you've made. I'm very excited to see where this goes. We've got a lot of drawing ahead of us, a lot of new animals to experience, more funky, cool animals, and I'm ready to start making some more prints and updating my shop and updating everything. I think that's all I have for you tonight, and I really hope you get some rest, drink some water, take care of your mind, take your meds, and I will see you in the next video where we do some drawing with some funky animals. Bye.